The outbreak of cholera and preventive measures is the topic for today's discussion.
For every one symptoms of cholera that you see, there are about 10 different people that have the same cholera but don't have symptoms.
Wow.
Which means that they don't have symptoms, but they can infect and they can transmit the disease. Now, water, whether at its source or maybe through the process of distribution, food, whether through while you are cooking, maybe you are using a contaminated water to cook, or maybe you are using a contaminated hands, the handling of the food itself can bring in the germs into the stuff. So these are the root of transmission. First of all, I needed to say that what we are doing right here is a preventive measure.
That passing the knowledge to people.
Yes.
Yeah, because knowledge is power,
Yes.
they say. Good.
Generally, we talk about 3 stages of prevention, which is one of which is primary prevention. And it's under that primary prevention, we talk about awareness programs like this.
Exactly,
So that's why I said it's a preventive measure.
Okay.
I think we should give ourselves a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Now, I said refuse disposal. So what's the problem? You notice that, you need to know that cholera is actually endemic in this part of the world, which means that we record cases every now and then. However, what we had from June till now is what we call an outbreak. So we had cases that exceeded the expected on a normal day. That's actually what happened. It's not as if we've not been having this since January.
Yes,
I just
yes.
quoted you the number of cases we've had from January till date. So what has happened? Remember, I said it is fecal-oral. So when you pass out stool, where are you supposed to pass it? So let's assume you've passed it somewhere, and you are also supposed to have a source of drinking water. So anything that causes your source of drinking water to collide with your sewage disposal, there will be contamination. And that is where the problem is coming from. So if you are going to prevent it, those are the things that we need to take into consideration.
Yes.
You
You
need
must
to
separate the whatever is the pipe or whatever, I don't know.
so you must
Create
so the word will be proper sewage disposal.
Exactly.
We need proper sewage disposals. In this part of the country, we see a lot of open defecation everywhere. That is one of the things. I mean, how can you just defecate where even flies can even pick up
I'm going to dump on somebody's
and go and
food.
drop on somebody's food and all that? So proper sewage disposal is one thing. All right. We must also talk about our access to clean and potable water. We must have proper access to all of that. All right. Because like I said,
What about washing our hands?
Yes,
after
I'm
we
going to
have-
get there. Since I already said that it is the mixing of those things that caused it, and we can see it in both drinking water and food. So even in handling of food sources. Now remember, the challenge is, you see, there are some food that when we eat them, we don't have to cook them. We don't have to really cook them before we eat. All right. And if that food is already contaminated, that means you are going to be taking in the pathogen.
Directly.
So you must be conscious of ensuring that you don't just undercook your food. You want to cook them well. You understand? If you cook a food for 8 minutes, that disease can still stay inside the food. But if you just cook for 10 minutes, for example, it can actually it will have
12,
died. All right. Now the point is this: cholera will be killed at the temperature of 100 degrees centigrade.
Okay.
That's one. You must just keep that. However, it can stay inside ice for 6 weeks.
Hey.
So it's not just enough to say, oh, I refrigerated this thing. Do you understand what I'm going to know? If you must eat that food, you must ensure it is well cooked. So while we are dealing with our sewage disposals, we are dealing with our refuge disposals, that it is well done. Then we are dealing with the kind of food we eat, that it is well cooked. These are preventive measures. Now, the hand that we are using to cook it, we're ensuring that proper handling of our food is important, So you want to wash your hands. You know, ma, that if we would only know how to wash our hands after defecating, before handling food and all of that, 40% of the case will have been reduced.
Honestly.
40%. So just hand washing alone.
To...
That's why I said it's preventable. So why are we dying of something that is preventable? You see, so all of these things are preventive measures that we must take as individuals and as a community, because it's not just a one person thing.
Yes.
You see, so you must talk to your neighbor. Now, it's important to say, when I said it is contagious and we are human, it doesn't mean that by touching you now.
You just carry them.
No. It is when that hand gets to the mouth, or do you understand, gets to the mouth, that you get infected. You know, so and water is important, because anytime there's shortage of water, I mean, definitely we are going to have issues like this. So the reason why there was an outbreak, was because there was heavy rainfall. So what as the rainfall does, many of our gutters are clogged. So the rainfall will cause those things that are dead, that may have been contaminated, to move to our water sources. And then we go to those water sources to drink the water, to do all of those things. And that's why there was an outbreak. So we must do something about our channels, our gutters, you know, to ensure that many times they say, oh, we are packing it out so that it will be free. But even what we packed out, we still left it there. Yes. So what are we talking about? The water is still going to wash it back inside. So we must take it a step further, because if we are going to be free totally of this, then we must get to the point in our standard of life, all right, where fecal-oral transmission is almost impossible.
Wow. Thank you so much for this exposure, because I call it exposure because most of us didn't even know what is happening. And many people just rely, because we felt that COVID is over. When we have COVID pandemic, actually, people got to washing hands and sanitizing and all that. Yes. But we say bye-bye to COVID now. So don't want anything you like, especially those in the market that sells, you know. So please, this is important for help us. You know, you said something when you analyzed it. You said that for every one person that has it, about 10 is carrying it around without even with the symptoms. So it is important that, lastly, he said, if we can wash our hands thoroughly, we will prevent 40% of people that carry it. So washing of hand is still very key. We'll take a break now. I will come back into question and answer. Vivid view, say and do it.
My name is Helen Alingwawa. So I want to know how much of awareness is going on or has been going on to control and prevent the outbreak of cholera. Thank you.
My name is Ogenesume, and my question is, what are the first aid measures for symptomatic patients, and can one become immune after being infected and treated and recovered from cholera? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this enlightenment. My name is Selina. I want to ask that what preventive measures can people in waterlogged areas take against cholera?
The men are in more danger. More danger in the sense that when your eye is not single, you must make a mistake. You must make a mistake in relationship. That is why if you have one faithful girl who have shown you acceptance,
stay put,
accept you for who you are, and your eye is still outside, don't worry. Very soon you will go and marry Gomorrah.
Welcome back. We're still discussing the outbreak of cholera and preventive measures. A lot of questions from the audience, so please, I guess, provide the answers. God bless you.
So someone was asking about first aid measures for symptomatic patients. You know, in this part of the world, we have what we call a late health-seeking behavior. We don't seek health stuff on time.
On time, so it's almost a bit.
And that's one of the reasons why we get to where we are. But what we must do is this: from everything I've explained, it's obvious that the problem is the water loss. So the first aid measure then is to take water. So what we do is you give what we call oral rehydration therapy,
ORT,
for a home-made one. You can actually make it at home, what we call oral rehydration salt. So what you do is you get 1 liter of water, then you get 6 teaspoons of sugar, you pour it inside, half a teaspoon of salt. You mix it together. So for every time you pass watery stool,
you drink,
you take. For every time you pass it, you take. So like that, you can control the amount of water loss before you find yourself in the hospital.
Exactly.
And once you are seeing that one day you are still going through the same thing. Second day, my dear brother, don't let that second day finish. Find your way to the hospital. Yes. But in that meantime, you have actually helped yourself. However, ORT will not work if you are already vomiting.
Because once you drink, you throw up.
Because once you drink, you throw up. So like that, you just have to be in the hospital, because that's a lot that is going on in your body at once. So you have to go to the hospital.
That's what they call vomiting and stooling.
Exactly. So, but in cholera, you may not have vomiting, but you may also have vomiting. It's just like you may have fever, but many times you may not have fever. And the fever may be low grade many times in cholera. So that's my response to that. So oral rehydration therapy would work.
Okay.
Someone was asking, so someone that is already affected and treated, is the person immune to the disease? The problem with cholera disease is not just the bacterial infection, it's the toxin that is produced by that cholera, Vibrio cholerae, that is causing the release of water into the lumen of the intestine. I don't know if you understand that. Now, I know that you are asking that question because perhaps you are even thinking of other diseases that we'll talk about,
like
that
chicken pox. It's only once in lifetime. Is it going to be like that?
A lot of factors come to play. The virulence of that disease, the pathogenicity of that disease are all the things that come to play, you know, in how your body really come up for, to defend and all of that. So you are not immune, you can still have it again.
That's all I was asking. Invariably, you can still have it again.
Exactly.
Like as you have malaria, it comes again, over and over again. Okay.
Yes, your immune system increases, but after the thing goes, your immune system goes down again. You know, and then so you can still have it again.
All right.
You know? So many times diseases like that are viral diseases. You know, that's true. You know, so I think that answered that. I also have a question here. Someone is asking about how much of awareness is going on with regards to this. I know you might be asking that question because of what we saw with regards to awareness in time of maybe COVID-19 and all of that. Maybe you are thinking maybe something is not really being done. A lot is being done. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control is actually doing a lot about it. NDDC. They are doing a lot about it. But it is to the extent of the disease that determines the extent of the response, really. You understand? As I'm talking to you, as our last month, I think we had about 1,600 and something plus suspected cases in Lagos. But this month, we've not had any new cases as far as that. The last report I got was actually in the first week in July. So that means, as far as they were concerned, things have been done. So there's no need for more. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But in places where things need to be done, is being done. You know, so I think that answer. And you know what we have right now is not really an epidemic like that. It's just like outbreak. So we have it in pockets, different places. You know, short places here and there. Like in Lagos now, we really have majority of it in Lagos Island. So you want to focus there to really, you know, talk to them. You know, you have in Bayelsa State. You want to. So that's basically why it look as if.
Nothing is happening,
but a lot is happening, and the result is in the result that we have right now, that we're not getting any new cases at the moment. So there's a question here: what are the preventive measures for people living in waterlogged areas? I hope you are not living in waterlogged areas. All right, the first thing is this: you must raise your standard of living first of all. You know, your personal hygiene has to go to the next level. That's the first thing you must do. All right. Secondly, if you have water source, you might want to increase the chlorination in the water source that you have. You understand what I'm talking about, so that you can make it more like that. Now, you cannot even spray your house with this thing we call DDT. It's a pesticide. You can use it to spray your house. So you can use DDT, you know, to spray the house. And then, like,
but they say it's not only for those in waterlogged areas.
Yes, everybody
can use
these are you know, measures, preventive measures, you know, community-wise. Your gutter you must ensure you throw it up so that there will be adequate flow of water. So the water will not just stay there; it will move. So these are the things you must do as individuals. If you don't have gutter in front of your house, you want to do it. You want to ensure that everybody has irrigation system that is, you know, adequate in this environment.
What about boiling of water before?
Yes, definitely. You don't. That's why I even talk about chlorination of the water. It's part of the ways you ensure your water is clean. You make it good for consumption. You know, so you want to boil your water to. You want to ensure that your sewage disposal is on point.
Yes.
You understand? Now, many times one of the things that causes issue is that the sewage disposal is actually close to the source of water. So you want to ensure that your source of water, maybe you have a well or maybe you have a borehole or something, is at least 15 meters away from the source of water. And all of those things are things that if you put them in place, you would have.
But let's call it spades. Some of the most houses in Lagos, they don't have toilet too. They do short put. Isn't that what they call it? So how do we look at that?
That's the thing.
That's even the worst of it.
24th century.
Yes.
You don't want to, why should you go and rent a house that does not have a septic tank?
Yeah, because they feel that it's cheap and all those stuff. And why we even landlord be building houses without
the septic tank?
That's wickedness, actually.
So we
that's
must.
Wickedness. Yes.
I don't know what to say about that, but the point is that cannot be allowed if we want to stop
cholera.
Yes, and we want to reduce what I'm still trying to answer your question.
Yes,
but away from it a little. The open defecation we talked about earlier. You want to talk to the government to help us, build. See, defecation is a physiologic reaction. So if it meets you on the road, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You will have to look for a place. So we want to beg the government to help us build,
some public toilets,
here and there. You can't have Lagos-Ibadan Express with that long, and then there will be no toilet along the way. I think when they are building our routes, they should consider building all of those things also.
You have toilets where you stop, eat yourself, and go.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think with that, we can make it better. We can have a better experience. Yes.
All right, thank you so much. What's your parting words now?
It's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But I'll say this, like I said before, if we are going to say bye-bye to cholera, then we must raise our standard of living to the point where fecal-oral transmission is almost impossible.
Thank you so much, Dr. Francis. We've heard it all. So when we go there, and those of you that will be privileged that are here as audience, and those of you privileged to watch this program, tell others to what we have learned. This cholera we're talking about now is preventable and it's also treatable. And when you have little symptoms we mentioned, don't remain at home first till dying minute before I start rushing to the hospital. Please watch it out. You may have little cold, you may have running stomach, you may have this, you may have that weakness of body. That's what I could talk about, fatigue. If you start having some of these symptoms, please, and run away from self-medication. Very, very bad. You have a just go and chemist and buy. No, please, run away from self-medication. Let doctor prescribe for you. It's also very, very good so that you will save money, save time, and save life. All right, thank you, Dr. Francis, for your time with us, our audience present, and of course, our viewers out there, production crew, executive producer, and our sponsors. We are grateful. Thanking you for making this program a huge one. I want to invite artist Efenla to sign out this program. I am Ehiliz, the praying mother of the nation. Goodbye. We leave you.
Safe and fluid.
I think I could do it. Whatever I say, I could do it.
What gives birth to relationship first is love.
Somebody lost his wife, not his first wife. The next question is, why did his first wife die and the second wife die? We have no emotional balance, no emotional control.
Ladies will say, I don't like this man. Why don't you like him? He doesn't beat me. Because my father used to beat my mother.
In Nigeria, we have about 2.2 million people living with disabilities.
Wonderful.
We have the adults who are going through so much stress today, and they can't even have their head up in the society.
You that is bad, you are hitting your wife all the time. Stop beating. Don't turn your wife to punching bag.
Join us every Sunday on Vivid View with Ehiliz.
You see me, they wear native. It is a planner. It's in a fashion. Anywhere they do their enter, chop rice.
I know go give up till you go better for me.
Every day of my life, I'm living in celebration. Me, I get a lot of plans where they give me all vibration. I don't go lose that go, I go chase my back. Consequent, I go run big back. Jama, baby, root the change, show me my pants and the last not cash. I ain't there this way, come jaja, come jashero, I ain't there this way, come jaja, come jashero. Chigama, chigama.
You are watching Vivid View Talk Show.
Right to the rhythm, I go make you mine. Jigama, couple of my niggas on my telegram. Jigama, fuck with my gang, I make you dance. Money to Miami, I don't feel like Jigama. Your girlfriend wanna tag me on Instagram. Jigama, play with my thing cause I'm a Taliban. Fuck with my gang, I go make you dance. Oh, I ain't there this way. Come down, Jai, come down, shit. I ain't there this way. Come down, Jai, come down, shit. Chigama, chigama.
You are watching Vivid View Talk Show. You are watching Vivid View Talk Show.